Have you ever looked around your home and thought, wow, it's quiet today? Maybe you used to hear the chatter of kids, the hum of family dinners, or the buzz of a busy household. And now, it's just you and the ticking clock. That silence, sometimes it's peaceful, other times, it's just plain loud. But here's the thing, living alone doesn't mean being lonely. And getting older doesn't mean giving up on joy, independence, or excitement. In fact, this phase of life can be one of the most freeing, empowering chapters yet. Aging alone is becoming more common, especially for people over 60. Maybe your spouse passed away, maybe you never married, or maybe your kids are off building their own lives. Whatever the reason, you're not alone in living alone. And believe it or not, it can be a beautiful, vibrant experience, if you know how to lean into it. In this video, we're going to talk heart-to-heart about how to live independently, stay mentally sharp, feel emotionally fulfilled, and make life on your own terms not just manageable, but meaningful. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's have a little chat, just you and me. Let's begin with something simple but powerful, your mindset. The way you think about living alone shapes your whole experience. If you wake up each day feeling like you're just getting through, then yeah, it's going to feel heavy. But what if, instead, you saw each day as a blank canvas? You get to choose what the day looks like. You get to decide what matters, what brings you joy, what's worth your time. Some folks say, I'm too old to start anything new. Nonsense. You're not too old. You're just seasoned. That means you've got wisdom, experience, and the kind of grit that only comes from living through life's ups and downs. That's something to be proud of. That's strength. One woman I met, her name was Carol, started painting at 72. She'd never touched a paintbrush in her life, but one day she just felt like giving it a go. And now, her little studio is full of color. She paints every afternoon with music on, windows open, birds chirping in the background. She says it makes her feel alive. Not because she's good at it, but because she gave herself permission to try something just for her. That's the kind of freedom we're talking about. And that brings us to the second point. Create a routine that you love. One that fits your rhythm, your energy, your interests. You're not on anyone else's schedule now. You don't have to cook for a whole family or manage school pickups or clean up after kids. This time is yours. So how do you want to spend it? Start small. Maybe a walk in the morning sun. Maybe coffee on the porch with your favorite mug. Maybe 15 minutes stretching your body while breathing deep and slow. You don't need a jam-packed to-do list. You just need moments that feel good. A sense of flow. A reason to get out of bed that isn't about survival, but about joy. And don't underestimate the power of little rituals. Light a candle before dinner. Play the same old song you've loved for years and dance around the kitchen. Write in a journal at night about something that made you smile. These tiny habits bring structure to your day and comfort to your soul. Now, I know some people think that independent living means you have to do everything by yourself. That's a myth. Independence doesn't mean isolation. It just means you are the captain of your ship. But even captains have crews. So the third thing I want to talk about is connection. Yes, you live alone. But that doesn't mean you have to feel alone. Human connection comes in many shapes. Maybe it's chatting with the cashier at your local store. Maybe it's calling an old friend even just to say, I was thinking about you. Maybe it's joining a book club or a walking group, or even trying out an online community. You'd be surprised how many people out there are looking for the same thing, just someone to talk to. And if you're someone who doesn't like to ask for help, let me gently say this. Letting others in doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Whether it's asking a neighbor to help change a light bulb or sharing a story over coffee, those little moments of connection, they matter. They keep us grounded. They remind us that we're part of something bigger. You don't need dozens of friends. Just a few good ones. Or even just one. One person who listens, who laughs with you, who reminds you that you're seen and valued. And if you don't have that person right now, don't worry. There's still time to find them. Stay open. Stay curious. People show up when you least expect it. So here we are. You're in a chapter of life that's uniquely yours. No one is telling you how to live it, and maybe that's a little scary, but it's also incredibly freeing. You get to write the rules now. You get to shape your days. And you have more power than you realize to turn this chapter into something beautiful. Let's keep this going. You and we've already talked about how mindset shapes your experience, how small routines bring joy, and how connection, even in small doses, keeps the heart warm. Now, let's talk about the practical side of living alone. Because being independent isn't just about attitude, it's about being smart, prepared, and confident in your own space. One of the biggest concerns folks have when aging alone is safety. And honestly, that's not being paranoid, that's just being wise. There's a comfort that comes from knowing your home is set up to support you. It's not about turning your house into a hospital, it's about making your environment work with you, not against you. Start by walking through your home, room by room, with fresh eyes. Ask yourself, is this space helping me or is it slowing me down? That rug that curls at the edge? Toss it or tape it. Those dim hallways? Add brighter lights. You'd be amazed how much peace of mind comes from simple changes like these. One man told me he added motion sensor nightlights in the hallway and by the bathroom. Now he moves around at night without fumbling or fear. Just a small tweak, but it made his nights a whole lot easier. And let's not forget about reaching things. If you're climbing up on chairs to grab something off a high shelf, please stop. There's no medal for bravery here. Bring things down to a comfortable height. Use a sturdy grabber tool if you need to. Your home should never feel like an obstacle course. Another thing that helps? Keeping essential numbers close at hand. Doctor, pharmacy, a neighbor or nearby family member. Write them down. Stick them on the fridge or beside the phone. Even if you don't use them often, just knowing they're there brings a sense of calm. And hey, if you're tech-savvy, you can even set emergency contacts on your phone, just a couple taps away if needed. But physical safety is only one part of the equation. There's another piece that's just as important, your sense of purpose. That reason to get up in the morning and say, "Today matters." Because without it, the days can blur together. Time stretches out and suddenly, it's easy to feel stuck. And here's a little truth. Purpose doesn't always show up with a grand entrance. Sometimes, it tiptoes in through the smallest things. Maybe it's tending to a little garden on your windowsill. Maybe it's feeding the birds or volunteering once a week at the local library. One man I knew started baking bread every Sunday and leaving loaves at his neighbors' doors. He said it gave his hands something to do and his heart something to feel. That's purpose. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to feel right for you. And here's the beautiful part. Purpose often grows out of curiosity. The moment you let yourself try something new, you spark something inside. Try painting. Try puzzles. Try writing letters to your younger self. Or your future self. You'd be surprised how much wisdom lives inside you, just waiting to be rediscovered. Speaking of rediscovering, let's talk about the relationship you have with yourself. Because when you live alone, you spend a lot of time with what? And that means how you talk to yourself matters. Be kind in the mirror. Speak gently. Laugh at your own jokes. Make peace with your past. This is a chance to become your own best friend. One lovely woman I met told me she takes herself on dates every Friday. She picks a little treat. A new book, a slice of pie, a drive through her favorite neighborhood. She dresses up, puts on lipstick and says, "I do it just for me." That's not silly. That's beautiful. That's a celebration of self-worth. So let's pause for a second and really take that in. This life you're living, it's yours. Every morning you wake up, you get to choose how to fill your time. And even if some days feel quiet or long or uncertain, there's still magic to be found. In the smell of fresh coffee, in the sound of a favorite song, in the warmth of the afternoon sun on your face. And when those tougher moments come, as they sometimes do, just remember, you've already made it through so much. You've handled heartaches and hurdles and things you never thought you could face. And here you are, still standing, still living. That's not just survival, that's strength. Now, as we keep moving forward together, there's still more to explore. Because living independently isn't just about surviving each day. It's about thriving. It's about building a life that fits you. And there are a few more little pieces we can put into place to make sure this chapter of your life feels truly rich and fulfilling. You know, one of the quiet truths about aging is that we become more aware of time. Not in a fearful way, but in a thoughtful one. We start to look at our days not as something to rush through, but as moments to be cherished. That's a beautiful shift. Because once you start seeing your time as precious, everything changes. You stop wasting energy on things, or people, that drain you. You become more protective of your peace. And you start asking yourself, what do I want my life to feel like? Let's talk about one more important piece of the puzzle, keeping your mind and body strong, not for anyone else, but for you. It's not about running marathons or lifting weights unless that's your thing. It's about giving your body a little love, a little attention. Movement, no matter how gentle, reminds your body it's still alive. Still capable. Still in motion. Even something as simple as stretching in the morning, walking up and down your hallway during commercials, or dancing to your favorite old tune while making lunch, it all adds up. Not just physically, but emotionally too. Movement clears your mind. It lifts your mood. It brings your spirit back into your body after a quiet or heavy day. And don't forget about your brain. Just like your muscles, it loves to be challenged. Read something new. Do a crossword. Try learning a few words in a different language, even if you never use them. Your brain isn't done growing. It still wants to play, to connect dots, to remember, to imagine. Give it something to chew on. But here's something else people often overlook. Your environment plays a huge role in how you feel every day. Take a look around your space. Does it feel like you? Do you see colors and photos and little things that make you smile? Living alone gives you a special kind of freedom to create a home that reflects you and only you. Maybe it's time to move some furniture, hang a new picture, get rid of things that don't serve a purpose anymore. One man I met started lighting incense every afternoon while reading in his chair. He said the scent reminded him of peace, of old memories, of being grounded. A woman I spoke to kept a tiny vase of fresh flowers in her kitchen, not because anyone else would see them, but because they made her feel joyful. These details matter. They make a space come alive. Now, there's one more thing I want to say, and it might be the most important of all. You are not less whole because you live alone. You are not broken. You are not waiting for someone else to complete you. You are not forgotten. There is so much worth in your presence. So much value in your wisdom, your humor, your stories. Every wrinkle on your skin, every gray strand of hair. It all holds chapters of life that no one else can claim. And you, just as you are right now, are enough. You've learned how to stand on your own 2 feet. You've survived loss, grown through change, and adapted to a world that never stops shifting. That takes grit. That takes grace. And if some days are still hard, that's okay too. We all have those. Just don't forget, it's okay to feel lonely sometimes, but you are never truly alone. There are people out there, maybe even watching this video right now, who feel just like you, quietly wondering if anyone else understands, quietly hoping for a little encouragement. So if that's you, consider this your sign. You are seen. You are cared for. And this life of yours, it still has pages to turn. So what now? Now you live. Not just exist, but really live. You water your plants. You sing in the shower. You spoil yourself with little joys. You pick up the phone and call someone you've been meaning to reach out to. You light a candle just because it smells nice. You hold yourself with tenderness and pride and say, I'm still here. And I still matter. If this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Share your thoughts, your story, or even a favorite habit that brings you joy while living alone. You never know, your words might help someone else feel a little less alone today. And if you enjoyed this little heart-to-heart, give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. There's so much more we can explore together, because growing older doesn't mean fading out. It means showing up in new ways. Brighter, softer, stronger. Here's to living your best life, your realest life, at any age. And here's to you, just as you are.